All right, the previous video was all about why do you use a communication plan? And hopefully they got the point through. You want to make sure that you're communicating the right information at the right time for the right stakeholders. So this is a very, very simplified communication plan. There's a ton out there. There's a ton of templates and tools out there. I just put this together just to kind of illustrate a point, and it could be this easy. This could be a great communication plan. So the first column here is stakeholders. So who is your key stakeholder that you want to communicate something to? That could be a group. It could be an individual person. And remember, a stakeholder is anybody who is impacted by the project or feels like they're impacted in the project. So identify who your key stakeholders are and just list them all the way down. The second thing you're going to do is what's the deliverable? What am I going to deliver to them? And so you can see here I have a dashboard report, but I also say within that dashboard report, I'm going to give you a schedule update. I'm going to give you a budget update. And I'm going to talk about risks in that. And so that's kind of what the deliverables are. You don't want to just say, hey, dashboard report, because they might not know what that means. So give a little bit more detail of what that is. After that, frequency, when am I going to send this out? So I said monthly, which is great. But I also specified it's going to be the 5th day of the month because that gives me enough time to get my financial information in, generate a good report, and give it to them. If I'm saying it's the 5th day of the month, it's going to be the 5th day of the month. It doesn't matter if it's a Saturday or Sunday. I could say, hey, the first Friday of the month, or I could say the 15th of the month, or whatever it is, but just give them a time so that everybody knows when they can expect that report. Then the owner there in the gray box, I just put a name. I just made up a name. It could be anybody. Hopefully it's not always the project manager. It could be, but hopefully you have your team to depend on. But make sure that there is a name in that box of, hey, who's going to be responsible for that? It could be a title. So it could be project manager. It could be program manager. It could be associate coordinator, whatever it might be. But make sure that there's one specific person that's going to be responsible for that. So everybody can look at this and say, hey, this is the person who's responsible. And then last part, we have delivery method. So in this case, I'm going to email it out on a monthly basis, but I'm also going to save it on that SharePoint site. It could be I save it on the SharePoint site and I send out the link, whatever that is. But the idea of this is then you can go sit down with that big stakeholder and say, hey, this is what I'm planning on giving to you. This is when it's going to come to you. And this is the type of information. Are you okay with that? And you can have the negotiations then of what that looks like. So that's what a communication plan is. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and we'll talk to you soon.